What's up, family? Welcome back to the channel. You know, there's been a buzz going on, especially with that prophet guy, Brandon Biggs. He said that he predicts that something is going to happen to Trump the day before the inauguration. I don't know how true that is, but he's been predicting some things. But we're going to get right into these videos to see what's really popping and what's going on.
And family, praise the Lord. Thank you for joining me today. Well, I got a text message from Sister Billy Brim, and she had somebody reach out to her from Australia that is pretty well known. And this person had a dream, and in the dream, she told Billy that the dream was about Trump. And Trump was at some kind of rally, and it was at a hockey rink, and he was fatally shot from the audience, and it was live on TV. And so she didn't know that he was going to do this rally in the next couple of days in Washington. So she looked up and seen if he was doing anything, when basically trying to figure out anything she could about the dream she had. And she found out that the rally that he's going to have on the 19th is at a hockey basketball stadium. So it's very alarming when a watchman, another fellow watchman, is seeing another warning the people to pray that there is going to be an attempt on President Trump's life on the 19th, is what they're thinking. So Sister Billy asked me to have you all pray and intercede for President Trump, for protection, for his wife, for his kids, all of it. The enemy knows, folks, what's about to happen. He knows that his days are numbered. And he is trying to throw his last and final blows as much as he can to kill, steal, and destroy, to eliminate, trying to derail God's plan for this earth for one last call. And I'm telling you all, Trump plays a big part in what's about to take place. And the enemy knows. He knows. He's heard all the prophetic words. He knows what's being said in the spirit realm. So if he can try to derail that, he thinks he's winning. But we know we have power and authority over the devil, and nothing shall by any means hurt us. But we have to take our authority. We have to take our seat and our place, and we have to do it daily. We're seated with him in the heavenlies, far above all principalities and powers and might, according to Ephesians. Read the book of Ephesians over and over and over and over until it becomes real to you.
Only thing I can really say is pray for sure. But if you know anybody that's going to that rally on the 19th, you should tell them to stay vigilant, because all eyes will help in this situation. Y'all, we can't let them win. We can't let them win. If this is true and this is what's going to happen, and you know me, I'm an optimistic person. I'm always like, nah, it's not. But I don't know, man. Especially with a guy like Brandon Biggs, who has predicted a couple of things and they mostly have come true. So I don't know. But you get with the people that you know, or if you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that's going, let them know. Put them on high alert. The people in the crowd need to be on high alert. Everybody. To be honest, people in the crowd aren't to be trusted, because anybody can go to the rally. So yeah, that's where we need to be mentally.
So I would say what's different is we are in a higher threat environment.
What is the difference compared to the last inauguration or 3 years inauguration?
Last inauguration. I would say we have a slightly more robust security plan. We've been planning for this event for 12 months. With our partners. It's an ever-changing threat environment, and so we stay flexible. If we see that, hey, we need to shore this particular checkpoint up, we do that. So what's different? We've learned. This is our 5th NSSE this year in the Washington field office. We've done 83 NSSEs. Each one we take a look at, and if there's areas where we need to improve, we do it. But what I can tell you is that We are 100% confident in the plan that we have put in place for this inauguration, that the public and our protectees will be safe.
It's highly unlikely that they would make a slip because think about it. They've already been through 2 attempts. They're not about to let a third one happen.
I deleted Red Note. That app did not sit right in my spirit. Am I the only one that felt like I shouldn't have been there, or I should not have downloaded the app when I downloaded it? Because I downloaded it, I checked it out, and then I deleted it. I did not, something was not sitting right. And then I came back on TikTok and seen that everybody said, oh, we're on Red Note now. So I re-downloaded it, and after I had it on my app store for about 5 minutes, I deactivated and deleted again. I hope my number came off of there because I did not know how to do that part. But after logging on here today, hearing that the red notes that was being dropped out of the sky on Leave the World Behind, saying it was the end of the world, it's just too much of a coincidence for me, and I don't believe in coincidence. The app just did not sit right with me. It was like, it felt like an app that I should not have been on, and I felt like I should not have even put my number in there. I don't know, but I'm going to steer clear away from Red Note, and I'll go to YouTube or Lemonade. Hopefully one of those work, but Red Note, I'm good.
You know what? That kind of makes sense because I've already seen certain scenes of the movie Leave the World Behind, and I'm gonna name the ones I've seen. I've seen the city being destroyed, like we've been seeing these wildfires and everything going on in North Carolina. That's one thing. And I've seen the cars being piled up on the highways, but I haven't seen the red notes. And I was always wondering, were the red notes actually going to come from the drone? But we saw the drones because the drone was actually dropping the red notes in the movie. But where are the red notes? Then, in the midst of losing an app that gives total free speech, well, some free speech, here come this app named Red Note. I ain't even went on the app. I downloaded it, but I haven't even clicked on it to even see what it looks like. I mean, because I've heard that it's totally Mandarin anyway. And let's not forget, in the movie, the red notes in the movie were in a different language that we couldn't understand. I don't know. She might be on something, though.
That occurred in Monterey, California in October 2017. At that time, you were still married to your second wife, correct?
I believe so.
And you had just fathered a child by a woman who would later become your third wife, correct?
Senator, I was falsely charged, fully investigated, and completely cleared.
So you think you were completely cleared because you committed no crime? That's your definition of cleared? You had just fathered a child 2 months before by a woman that was not your wife. I am shocked that you would stand here and say you're completely cleared. Can you so casually cheat on a second wife and cheat on the mother of a child that had been born 2 months before, and you tell us you are completely cleared?
Senator,
how is that a complete clear?
Senator, the child's name is Gwendolyn Hope Hegseth, and she's a child of God, and she's 7 years old.
And she was, and you cheated on the mother of that child less than 2 months after that daughter was born, didn't you?
Those were false charges.
Well,
it was fully investigated, and I was completely cleared. And I am so grateful for the marriage I have to this amazing woman behind me.
You've admitted that you had sex at that hotel in October 2017. You said it was consensual, isn't that correct?
Anything...
You've admitted that it was consensual, and you were still married, and you just had a child by another woman.
Again,
how do you explain your judgment?
Completely false charges against me. You fully investigated, and I was completely clear.
You have admitted that you had sex while you were married to wife 2 after you just had fathered a child by wife 3. You've admitted that. Now, if it had been a sexual assault, that would be disqualifying to be Secretary of Defense, wouldn't it?
It was a false claim then and a false claim now.
If it had been a sexual assault, that would be disqualifying to be Secretary of Defense, wouldn't it?
That was a false claim.
So you're
talking about a hypothetical.
So you can't tell me whether someone who has committed a sexual assault is disqualified from being Secretary of Defense?
Senator, I know in my instance, and I'm talking about my instance only, it was a false claim.
But you acknowledge, that you cheated on your wife and that you cheated on the woman by whom you had just fathered a child. You have admitted that.
I will allow your words to speak for themselves.
You're not retracting that today. That's good. I assume that in each of your weddings, you've pledged to be faithful to your wife. You've taken an oath to do that, haven't you?
Senator, as I've acknowledged to everyone in this committee, I'm not a perfect person, not claiming to be.
But no, I just asked the simple question. You've taken an oath like you would take an oath to be Secretary of Defense in all of your weddings to be faithful to your wife. Is that correct?
I have failed in things in my life, and thankfully I'm redeemed by my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
In finalizing divorces from your first and second wives, were there non-disclosure agreements in connection with those divorces?
Senator, not that I'm aware of.
If there were, would you agree to release those first and second wives from any confidentiality agreement?
Senator, it's not something I'm aware of.
But if there were, you would agree to release them from a confidentiality agreement?
Senator, that's not my responsibility.
Did you ever engage in any acts of physical violence against any of your wives?
Senator, absolutely not.
But you would agree with me that if someone had committed physical violence against a spouse, that would be disqualifying to serve as Secretary of Defense, correct?
Senator, absolutely not have I ever done that.
You would agree that that would be a disqualifying offense, would you not?
Senator, you're talking about a hypothetical.
I don't think it's a hypothetical. Violence against spouses occurs every day. And if you as a leader are not capable of saying that physical violence against a spouse should be a disqualifying fact for being secretary of the most powerful nation in the world, you're demonstrating an astonishing lack of judgment.
That man is a putz. When they start bringing your personal life into politics, they really are trying to get the people to look at you in a negative light. And this is how you know that the world is a stage. Because what's the point of this? If this man is fit for the job, mentally and physically, why does what he done in his past as a human being even matter? Hey, what's up, What Ifers? I hope you're having an amazing day. I wanted to take a quick moment and talk about something really exciting happening on the channel. And that's the brand new membership option just for you. For just $1.99 a month, you can become a channel member and unlock some really cool perks that I've been dying to share with you. First up, as a member, you'll get early access to my videos. That means no more waiting. You'll be the first to watch my latest uploads before anyone else. And I know how much you guys love getting in on the content first, whether it be political or conspiracy or alien videos. You'll be the first to comment, the first to react, and honestly, just be a part of that inner circle.
But wait! There's more!
As a member, you'll get exclusive custom emojis that you can use during live streams and in the comments. So if you want to stand out or just want to show your support in a fun way, these emojis are for you. It's an awesome way to be a part of this growing community in a way that goes way beyond just subscribing. And don't worry, all my regular content is still free to everyone. But by joining, you're supporting the channel directly, helping me create more content and bringing even better videos to you faster. So if you're looking to join the channel and take things to the next level, hit that join button down below. And let's make this community even more awesome. You'll get early access, exclusive perks, and be a part of the content creation journey with me. Thanks so much for your support. And whether you're a member or not, I appreciate every single one of you for making this channel what it is. Let's keep creating and growing together. And remember, challenge the argument and not the person.
Are we still on the same planet? Because apparently there's supposed to be a volcano eruption in New Jersey. I'm doing my daily scrolling and I see a creator say that she heard that there's supposed to be a volcano eruption in New Jersey. I have lived in New York my entire life and I never knew that there was a volcano in New Jersey. So you know I had to jump down that rabbit hole, right? And look at this. There is a volcano in New Jersey called the Beamerville volcano. And that volcano that's in Wantagh, New Jersey, is 2 hours away from New York. Come on, y'all gotta be playing. So first it's the mutant sharks that came out of the volcano, and that's crazy. And now we got a volcano that's about to erupt in New Jersey. Listen, come on now. See what y'all about to do is, y'all about to stop making me go to Jersey. I go to Jersey all the time. I food shop in Jersey. I party in Jersey. I do things in Jersey. And you telling me that all these years I've been in New York, I never knew that there was a volcano in New Jersey. No, a volcano in New Jersey. Anybody with any information on this, please let me know. Let me know, because I need to know. I'm out.
Shoot, that's new to me. I didn't know there was no volcano in New Jersey.
With the hazmat, we have found a underground lithium battery storage plant for bicycle batteries that has posed a huge hazard in that area. We are working with the hazmat teams to keep that contained. So a lot of that is just very dangerous. As you just heard, the air quality in some of that area is still very, very high and dangerous.
So she finds all kinds of explosives just 24 hours after this warning went out? We'll come right back to this video in 1 second. Is anybody aware that we had 3 different organizations come out today and tell us that we have a massive threat for another New Orleans type attack? Before we go any further, TikTok is speculation based off all the mainstream news outlets. Long story short, in his interview a bunch of things were brought up. He said that things like in the mirror, it says closer than they appear. That's what the threats that we're facing in this country. He also called them unprecedented, like massive threats to this country. For validation purposes, we also have the Jerusalem Post saying U.S. agencies warn of potential New Orleans type situation. And we've heard this from multiple different people, accredited people, just the first 2 weeks of January alone.
Talked to her, and what she says she found were pretty clear red flags that needed to be reported to authorities.
I had the master key, and I went in there, and I came across a lot of things, and I was like, that don't seem right.
33rd place in the Lake Meadows neighborhood. She says residents get advance notice that they'll be making the rounds and entering their units. When no one answered the door, she says she let herself in.
I came across some C4, some explosives, a rifle, a lot of fake IDs, a lot of fireman stuff, a lot of police force stuff, and it just looked like it was fake, you know?
Those findings are very strange, aren't they? Why do I say that? I don't know. No idea. No idea. In TikTok, this is just the news. Like I said, you'll need to pay attention.
Yeah, that threw me for a loop. But if you're thinking like how I'm thinking, then we might be on the same page.
People impacted by these fires are going to receive one-time payment of $770. One-time payment. So they can quickly...
Wow. A whopping $770. In California, that probably won't even go next door.
We purchase things like water, baby formula, and prescriptions. So far, nearly 6,000 survivors have registered to do just that. People impacted by these fires are going to receive one-time...
Donald Trump says, why are we taxing the American people? We don't need an internal revenue service. We need an external revenue service. If loving Donald Trump is wrong, baby, I don't want to be right. Let's go ahead and read what he posted via Truth Social. He says, for far too long, we have relied on taxing our great people using the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. Through soft and pathetically weak trade agreements, the American economy has delivered growth and prosperity to the world while taxing ourselves. It is time for that to change. I am today announcing that I will create the External Revenue Service to collect our tariffs, duties, and all revenue that come from foreign sources. We will begin charging those that take money off of us with trade, and they will start paying, finally, their fair share. January 20th of 2025 will be the birth of the External Revenue Service. Make America great again. Woo-hoo! I just want to see if he's going to be able to get all the things done that he said he wanted to do. Because if he's able to get these things done in just 4 years, the Democrats have no more excuses of why they're saying that they need 2 terms to get a quarter of the shit done.
And those are facts. If this is real and he's going to create this external service, a revenue service, and I read it, it's actually in play, right? So if it goes through and it actually happens, bro, do y'all understand how big that is? Y'all know that with the government taxing us, that's a form of slavery, because we live here, we work here, and then we get taxed and we're not able to enjoy the full fruits of our labor. This right here would turn it around and in turn tax the people that are importing into this country, which will take the loads off our back. Then it wouldn't be no need for a tax on the people. You know how much better things would be. Come on, man.
Symbolized within theatrics of ancient myths and rituals, dramas of Masonic rituals, tragedy as an ancient social order. It's like comparative symbology attempting to preserve a ludic capacity to catch symbols in movements, speaking and playing with possibilities of form, as in telling you a revelation of method from once before. saturating the goals and means with effect and desire, reversals and rituals with experimental combinations, initiations, multiplying genres and generations, artistic and popular entertainments, masses, culture, pop, folk culture. Don't fold when they try to control your composure.
AKA the Democrats.
Hey guys, breaking news. Donald Trump just posted on Truth Social. You know, we have the IRS. Donald Trump just posted on Truth Social that he is going to create the External Revenue Service, or the ERS. The ERS, the External Revenue Service, and its purpose is to collect our tariffs and duties and all revenue that come from foreign sources. It reads, we will begin charging those that make money off of us with trade, and they will start paying, finally, their fair share. This will be effective January 20th. You guessed it. 2025 will be the birth date of the External Revenue Service. Make America great again. January 20th, as I've learned, he is going to sign, as I've learned so far, 100 executive orders. I tell you what, for the next 4 years, everybody better hold on to your hat. And I got to tell you, I'm loving it. I'm loving it more than I'm loving it more than McDonald's. Make America great again. Come on, Trump. Do your thing. We're looking forward to it. Y'all drop me a comment. You already know. Talk to you later.
I'm telling you what happened. Trump got in there his first 4 years, and he saw that, wait a minute, all of the people could have been free from all of this turmoil and struggle just with the signature of a pen. But then it was like, no, but you don't understand. If you did this, that, and the third will happen, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. And at the time, he didn't really have time to sit and think about it because he was being bombarded with so much stuff. But on that 4 year off, he dedicated himself to figuring this stuff out because he already had it in place. I'm getting back in there. And when I get back in there, things are going to change. I'm going to shine a light on the people who have been holding the people down and holding the people back. So even if the Democrats get back in after my 4 years, it's going to prove that they are the evil ones. Trump did that.
So this just happened on the House floor.
I rise today on the floor of Congress to speak out against the ban on TikTok that will take place in 6 days on January 19th. I call on President Biden and President-elect Trump to put a pause on this ban so 170 million Americans don't lose their free speech, and millions of Americans' livelihood will be ended if this ban takes place. We need to be for free.
And granted, this is a Democrat speaking, right? Not all Democrats are bad, but you got radical Democrats, just like you got radical conservatives. But there's a big difference when it comes to radical Democrats and radical conservatives.
Speech. We can protect Americans' data. We can protect us from foreign interference on algorithms, but we should not ban TikTok.
So what does that mean? Well, first, we are still waiting for the ruling from the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will ultimately decide whether the law that bans TikTok is constitutional. But what Representative Ro Khanna of California was just asking for this morning on the House floor is for either President Biden or President-elect Trump to exercise the power given to the president in the law to put a presidential pause on the ban. Now, whether President Biden or President-elect Trump will listen to him and actually do that is anyone's guess. But perhaps if you put pressure on your lawmaker to then put pressure on Biden or Trump, maybe one of them will actually do it. But before you go pressuring anyone, you should know how your representative or your senator voted on the TikTok ban. Chances are your House representative voted yes, because most of them voted yes. But there are some that voted no. And then when the TikTok bill got to the Senate, things got a little trickier. So if you want to see exactly how your lawmaker voted, I am going to email you the official list in my Facts HQ newsletter, so make sure you sign yourself up. Okay, you have to understand, of the 435 members of the United States House of Representatives, 352 voted yes to ban TikTok. In the United States Senate, 79 out of 100 voted yes. That's a lot. We don't see that overwhelming kind of support very often. And yes, it was Democrats and Republicans. So don't believe the BS on the internet. Oh, it was a Republican's fault. Oh, it was Democrats' fault. No, it was all of their fault. It started with Trump during his first term back in 2020. He tried multiple times to ban TikTok. And then the effort in the House and the Senate continued, and it passed under Biden. Those are the facts. Now, before you go blaming anyone, you need to understand what really happened. In the House of Representatives, the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act, which is the law that forces TikTok to either divest or be banned, was a standalone bill. That was all that was in it. It passed on March 13, 2024. The final vote was 352 to 65. One member voted present. 197 Republicans voted yes. 155 Democrats voted yes. 14 members did not vote. 7 were Democrats, 7 were Republicans. But here's where things got tricky. By early April of 2024, the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act was not getting any traction in the Senate. Senators really did not want to touch it even after the House had passed it. So House Speaker Mike Johnson tried again, using a method that House speakers and Senate majority leaders have been using forever. Speaker Johnson created a bundle package. He wrapped the TikTok ban bill into a 5-bill monster bill that included $95 billion of foreign aid for Ukraine, Israel, and the Indo-Pacific, and included sanctions for China, Russia, and Iran. And now that monster bill had a little something for everyone. It passed in the House again. And this time, now that it included all those other things, all of a sudden the Senate was like, huh, we need to get this monster bill up for a vote. And in the end, on April 23rd of 2024, the Senate passed it. The final vote was 79 to 18 with 3 members not voting. Now, I'm not saying bundling bills together is a good way to do business, but it has been used for a long time because generally it's the only way that things seem to get done in Congress. Again, not defending anyone, but you also have to understand that sometimes lawmakers vote yes on these big, massive bill packages because of the one thing they really like that's important to them, even if there's other stuff in there that they hate. And off the top of my head, I can tell you Senator Rand Paul, a Republican from Kentucky, did not cast a vote on that monster bill package. And Senator Ed Markey, a Democrat from Massachusetts, voted yes on this bill. But both of them have been vocal advocates to stop the TikTok ban. In fact, the two of them, plus Representative Ro Khanna, filed a brief with the Supreme Court asking them to save TikTok. So now that you know the whole story, once you look at those lists that I'm going to email you tonight, make sure you talk to your lawmaker who represents you or your state and tell him or her how you feel about the TikTok ban and whether you think he or she should put some pressure on Trump or Biden to issue that presidential pause on the TikTok ban.
Well, all I'm gonna say is, you know, an app has to have an impact on the community if it's this big of an argument over it ending.
My first piece of advice to you is let's take care of our mental and physical health first before we embark upon what is going to be a journey to rebuild these communities back and rebuild them better than they were when we started this fire.
Did he say when we started these fires? That's crazy.
Goes back to my original premise. It's either something from that's extraterrestrial or something that we have in our skunk works that we are reverse engineering.
Mysterious drones now being reported over parts of 50 states and in countries across the globe. That there is a disclosure coming before the presidential inauguration, which now leaves us with 10 days. Dr. Greer, it's great to have you back. This is where we are right now. A flight crew on a commercial airplane recorded this large orb in the skies while they were at 17,000 feet. And now people, we mentioned this a week ago, are reportedly getting sick all over the world from this granular, mysterious fog that's being seen all over the place. Right. Does this disclosure happen next week? And if it does, How does it happen? When it starts happening, how will we know?
Well, it'll be all, all over the news. In fact, this particular team coming forward have dealt with the remains and on occasion living non-human life forms that have been downed, and some are still in captivity in subterranean facilities or stiffs.
Like, I remember even tapping into bank accounts and everything off my Social Security, and I remember it was 6 accounts in my name. And I called it, didn't I call the Federal Reserve? I called the Federal Reserve Bank. I'm like, why do I got an account with $6 million in it that I've never opened myself? How did you get access to your account? That's when they really started messing with us. That's not the question. Why do I got an account with $6 million? Why do I got a bank account with a Bank of America account with $20 million in it, and I never had a Bank of America account? Who the hell is using the money? Then you start tracking down your Social Security number, putting a 0 in front of it, which makes it a 10-digit bank account number. Then you look at your birth certificate number, which is your routing number. So now you're like, hold on, I got a bank with all this money. And then you start realizing what Social Security is. And then basically you working for free, and then they're paying you little bitty percentages or fractions out of the account that you already had all this money built in, because you're a natural born law-abiding citizen of the Creator and not of man. So it's different types of tiers you operate on. You can operate as an indigenous in the private, as your natural born body self, or you can operate as a corporation, which is the name your mother and father gave you right before they sold you over and got a Social Security number, and then sold your soul by taking the sole of your feet, putting it under some stamps, and then putting it on top of the birth certificate and selling you over to the corporation that we call the United States of America, which is not a country, it's a business, it's a corporation and an agent.
Well, I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it here. When you know better, you're definitely going to do better. Everything he said was 100% true. Now, I haven't went super deep as to finding out how to access those accounts, but it's definitely true. It's there. And you should get that book if you really want to know. But as you can see, they trying to take your boy Trump out. We must remain positive, and we must keep the same energy at all times, because if we let up and we get weak, we allow the negative energy to come in, swoop in, and do what it's come to do. We can't allow that, y'all. We have to stay on top of everything. We have to stay on top of the business, because I mean, one slip up could mess us up. Like I said, you call somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody who's going to be attending that rally, and make sure that they keep their eyes peeled open. Because, I mean, all Trump supporters, whether you're a Trump supporter or not, you know what's going on. You know that people are trying to get rid of this man. They don't want him to become president. I mean, especially if he's going as far as to start something called the ERS, the External Revenue Service. Come on now. That's going to change the game. And if we allow something negative to happen, we will never get the break that we deserve as a people. And that's for real. We've been in captivity for way too long, and it's time for that to change. And I won't rent. So with that being said, like I always say, do what you will with that information. And hey, if you like what you saw, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you know when I upload. Get in the description. Click that beacons link. It's going to take you to all my social medias. And remember, challenge the argument and not the person.